Hey everybody, I'm Tommy Scoville. This is the Tommy Scoville Show. It's Saturday, people. I just finished work. I showered because in yesterday's video I had this big black stain right here. How King James didn't beat on me for that, I know I'm shocked too. But yeah, big stain of printer's ink because I work at a print shop. Pretty happy that that's not there. People, there's a couple of things that I really need to take care of, and I'm going to do it at the end of this. But for those of you who leave early, I want to make sure you get this. I've had a lot of people ask me for before and after pictures because I lost 90 pounds. I went from 280 to 190. People, I was in prison, which makes taking before and after shots difficult because we can't do selfies. However, the day that I went down for the weigh-in, when my friend, the one I told you was like a brother, Austin, when he and I went down for the weigh-in, when he said, "I'm only 20 pounds heavier than you," I actually have a picture of that day from prison. So unfortunately, it's a prison picture. Also in the picture is Drew Peterson, the gentleman I told you I worked with, who killed he killed one wife, or was convicted of killing one wife, and his other wife disappeared. He will tell you he didn't do either. It's a whole other show that I'll talk about at some point. Suffice to say, the man's guilty. But we'll do that in another show. But here is Tommy at 280 pounds the day that I weighed in. That's me. And as you can see, just in the face. I also had hair. You can't see it, but that was pulled into a ponytail, kind of the bald mullet look. And on the cameras, this side, the other guy that isn't Drew Peterson in the middle is one of my best friends. And there he is, tipping the scale at probably about 320. But he got down into the high 100s as well. Lost like a human, an entire person. I've gotten a lot of emails from people that said they're losing weight with intermittent fasting. God bless you. I'm so proud of you. That's awesome. It really is. I'm telling you, intermittent fasting works. It's how I was able to lose all the weight. But I'm going to do a whole nother show on that because there are some other things that you need to hear about intermittent fasting that will help. And it will also let you know what to expect because eventually your body will level out to that, and there's some things you can do to change that. But I promise that's coming up, and it's coming up soon. Now, people, today at work, I walked into the break room, and as I walked in, there were two guys talking, and as they were positioned, the guy really couldn't see me the way that the break room door comes in. And he said, "convict and bank robber" in a sentence. I gotta think he was talking about me. What are the odds there's another convict bank robber that's working there? And people, I'm human, right? And I was angry. I really was, because number one, I don't talk about it there, so he had to have done some kind of research or whatever. But I did what I would have done in prison. I sized him up. I looked at this guy and realized that not only could I whoop this dude, but I could whoop three guys that looked just like him. And I wanted to go over and slap the taste out of his mouth and say, "Don't talk about me. Keep my name out of your mouth or I'm going to hurt you." I didn't do that. Do you know why I didn't do that? For real? This boat. When you people leave comments and I say, "I get more out of this than you do," I'm not kidding. If you knew how much better a man you make me, because I feel like I want to set an example. I'm not trying to sound like I'm cool. I'm really not. But I'm here to talk about living your best life. It would be pretty stupid if I went back to being the old guy. But I wanted to punch this person, and he almost made me. Right? I almost let this guy make me angry. Instead, I practiced what I preach. Honestly, I went over, I put on some music, I walked around a little bit during my break. I went outside, looked up at the stars, and I was able to diffuse this in my head. But the reason I'm bringing it up is this. People, owning your past isn't just owning your past. It's also owning the present as it relates to the past, right? This guy's just a miscreant. Honestly, I can't even be angry at him. But know this. Family members, people that you love, are not going to believe that you're sober just because you said you're sober. And that hurts. It really hurts because you've turned your life around. And if you are following in the instructions, you really created an entire new person, right? You laid out all of the things you want this new person to be. Tommy doesn't lie, right? He doesn't steal. He's never late for work. He doesn't hit people unless they mess with family, kids, or animals, right? I don't hit people anymore. I don't hurt people. I really go out of my way to be everything that I want to be. So when someone just assumes that I'm still doing dope because that's who I always have been, it hurts. And there's no getting around that. But I got to own that, right? I mean, how many times did I say, I swear to you this time, this is it? Or I honest to God, I'm sober. I said that 100, maybe 200 times. I don't even know how to keep track of that number. You lie. It's what you do when you use. You don't tell people, oh yeah, I'm strung out. It's so bad. Look at the track marks. You wear long sleeve shirts. You know, I wore socks, even with shoes that shouldn't have socks on because I was shooting at my ankles, you know, and I had track marks. I was a liar. So now the people who doubt that I'm really sober, they have every reason to. That doesn't make it so that it doesn't hurt. So know that that's there. However, it's a fine line, and there has to be a point at which you stick up for yourself. That may not be the first time someone goes, are you sure? Jump in them for that. Understand where they're coming from. If $20 disappears and I'm in the room, I'm the suspect. Right? That's just the way it is. I don't know how much longer it's going to be that way, but that's the way it is. I will always be the first suspect. And you can go farther than that. If somebody kicks in a door at a best friend's house, I'm going to be a suspect. Because in my past life, I'd have been a safe bet that I might have been the guy that did that. It is what it is. Most people who are listening to the sound of my voice did not fall to the levels of depravity that I did. However, you probably lied about your drug use or your drugging or your alcohol use or whatever. So if somebody questions whether or not you really did it, you gotta understand where they're coming from. You don't have to like it, and you don't have to let them make you anything, but you have to understand where they're coming from. But don't let them walk on you either, because this new creature has the right to walk up, and I mean kindly, because you're showing them you're a new person. And it's come up with me so many times where I go up and say, hey, you're mistaken. I don't lie, right? I don't lie. The person that you knew is dead. There is so little of that person still in existence that, you know, it's hard to imagine just how little of me made it to the new Tommy, because I eliminated the things that I didn't like, and that was 90% of what I was. The good news is that what I brought forward was the stuff that I always really liked about myself, but the rest of it's all changed. So I'll put up with it to a point, but I will, and I'll get in someone's face. I'm not going to do it as someone who's going to fight, or I'm not going to scare them, but I will stick up for myself, and you have to as well. Keep in mind, the level that you stick up for yourself should be proportioned to how much time you have sobriety, right? If you quit last Thursday and someone says, man, are you sure you quit this time? If you jump them, you're an idiot. Sorry, is what it is. You have to understand where they're coming from. But if you got a year or two sobriety under your belt, or 4 or 5 or 6, you've earned the right to stand up for yourself and say, I'm not that guy. You could say it on day one. Just know that they're not going to believe you. Do you understand where I'm coming from, people? Good. I hope so. It's important. It really is. Because we know we're a new person. You know, holy mackerel, we haven't had anything to drink in 20 days. Or we haven't done any drugs in a week. That's huge. You're a new person. You're sober. And you want to be treated that way, and you're not going to be. Don't let that be something that drives you back. Don't let that be something that's thoughts that slide. If that happens to you and you don't know how to cope with it, you don't know how to deal with it, come on to the comment section and talk to us. That's why we're here. We're family. We're going to look out for you. We're going to take care of you. We're going to have your back. And we're not going to doubt you when you say you're sober, right? We're here to have your back. People, you're going to hear about this very shortly, because we'll be talking about this very shortly. But in the 12-step program, people who are atheists really have a problem with it, and I get it. If you don't believe in God, it's got to be tough for every line to talk to you about God. In my steps, the way that I've written it up, if you do not rely on God, then, you know, you turn your willpower over to God. If you don't, I would suggest you come to the boat and borrow ours, not our God, our willpower, because the willpower of 1,300 people pulling for the same thing and having your back might just get you through when your willpower won't. And I promise you, your willpower won't. When I say to you, I'm never doing dope again, it's not based on my willpower. It's not. It's based on a system that's put into place so that when I start to crumble, I'm going to come right here and I'm going to have you people help me. For real, it's my support family, because I can't do it alone, people. I know this, right? I've studied this. Aside from in here, which I know because I'm doing it, I've studied this. You can't do it alone. That's why people turn their willpower over to God. If that's not your thing, bring your willpower to the boat. Borrow a little bit of mine, borrow a little bit of everybody else's, and watch what you're capable of. Okay, please. Also, people, real quick, I don't remember who it was. They deleted the comment. Somebody came and talked extensively about cannabis. And people, I'm not bad-mouthing cannabis, okay? Medical marijuana has its place. I think they overblow it. I really do. They talk about it being as good a painkiller as opiates. Go break your leg and smoke a joint and tell me it's as good a painkiller as an opiate. Opiates are a necessity for when pain gets so bad that you can't cope. It is a necessity. I'm addicted to them, right? Will be for the rest of my life. But it is a necessity for people that break a leg, right? For people who have a compound fracture, you're not going to smoke a joint. So I think a lot of the times the things that they write about cannabis are overdone. If they're not, it doesn't matter. If you come here and you say, you should really check out this video or that video, there are people on this boat whose drug of choice that they're trying to quit is cannabis. Out of respect to those people, maybe we could not talk about cannabis, even if it's a wonder drug for you. And I believe it is for a lot of people. But there are people here that are really struggling with it. This is a fact. You can look this up. This is a fact. Regardless of what the drug is, about 9 out of 10 people will use it without developing an addiction to it, whether it be alcohol or cannabis or whatever. About 9 out of 10 have that capacity to use but not get addicted. Or if they start getting out of control, they just pump the brakes and go, I got to stop doing this. Okay? 9 out of 10. But that 1 out of 10 is the person we got to protect on this boat, right? That's what we're doing here. We're protecting that person. So that's all I was saying. If I offended anybody, I'm telling you the truth. I don't remember who it was. If I offended you, I apologize. I love everybody on this boat. I love you as much as I love everybody else on this boat. So if I hurt your feelings, I feel terrible about that. And that's the truth. And if cannabis is working for you, fantastic. That's awesome. It really is. But let's not wave any drug in the face of someone who's trying to quit one. Cannabis is the only drug in the world that people lobby for, right? And I understand why, because Big Pharma fought to get it illegal. I understand all of that. I've read everything you could read about cannabis. I agree with almost everything you're saying. However, people get addicted to it. And if they're on this show, right? If they're watching this show and they're on this boat, there's a real good chance they got addicted to it, right? If they're complaining about cannabis, let's not throw it in their face. That's all I'm saying. That's it. I'm not going to tout studies about 3 glasses of wine being good for you because we have alcoholics on this boat. Okay, let's just look out for one another, people. That's why we're here. So don't be mad at me. I'm sorry. That being said, we're a family. We're here to take care of one another. If your willpower can't get it done, borrow some from us. There's an old expression in Texas. You can kick my, you know what, and you can kick my brothers, but you can't kick me and my brothers. Well, drugs may be able to get over on me, but it isn't going to get over on me and 1,299 people that want to help me. It's the dream of the boat. If you want to be a member of this, if you want to join this boat, if you want to come on board for the big win, all it takes is clicking this little button that just popped up right here, or soon to pop up right here. Click this button, come on board, become a shipmate. We will lend you our willpower when you need it, and we'll borrow a little from you when we don't have enough. That's the dream. Over here are videos. Please watch them 6, 7, 8 times, all the way to the end, and you might learn something. I really appreciate you being here. My name is Tommy Scoville. I'm going to go to sleep, but I promise you that I will be seeing you later today. God bless every single one of you. I love you.